Good morning, children. Welcome back to class 7 mathematics. Hope that you have done the exam very well. Now we are starting with our new chapter number 8, comparing quantities. Here, first we are discussing about ratio and proportion. Children, this topic you already studied in 6th standard. Let's recall what you have studied. Quantities are generally compared by subtraction or division. Comparison by division is known as ratio. Quantities written in ratio must have same unit. So children, be careful while comparing with the division. That means while comparing two quantities by ratio, the unit must be same. That is, if we are comparing any two quantities, they must be in the same unit. Otherwise, first step is you have to make both quantities in the same unit, then find the ratio. And ratio has no unit. Two ratios can be compared just like treating them as fractions. Is it clear? Ratio can be compared like fractions, or we can treat ratio as fraction. So whatever the comparison we are doing with the ratio, that is to find equivalent ratio, you have to do the same method as to find the equivalent fraction. If two fractions are equal, we say that the two given ratios are also equal. For example, ratio of 20 marbles and 15 marbles. How to find these ratios? Here both quantities are same. Both are marbles only. So to find the ratio, the given first quantity should be written first or in the numerator. So ratio of 20 marble and 15 marble can be written as 20:15. And we have discussed that ratio can be treated as fraction. So 20:15 can be written as 20/15. In both numerator and denominator, 5 is common. So you can cancel with the 5. So we get 4/3. Here they are asking the ratio. So you write the answer in ratio form. So we can write 20/15 after cancelling, getting 4/3 as 4:3. Is it clear? Ratio has no unit. So our final answer is 4:3 only. Next is proportion. What is meant by proportion? Yes, if two ratios are equal, then we can say that the four quantities are in proportion. When the four quantities or four terms are in proportion, then the product of extreme terms is equal to the product of the middle terms. For example, if A, B, C, D are in proportion, then we can write the four numbers as A is to B, so A is to C is to D. The four dot indicate that the two ratios are equal, or it is the sign of proportion. So the given four numbers are in proportion, then we have the product of middle term equal to the product of extreme terms. Here the extreme terms are A and D, middle terms are B and C. Hence, A into D equal to B into C. Next is unitary method. This also we studied in the 6th standard. Just recall. In this method, we find the value for 1. That is, first we calculate for a unit and then find the value for minute. Next, we can move to exercise 8.1. This is just a revision exercise only. Our first question, find the ratio of rupees 5 to 50 paise. Children, to find the ratio, first of all, the unit should be same. Here, one is having the unit rupees and the second quantity is having the unit paise. So, we have to convert both into same unit. Either you have to convert into rupees or convert it into paise. Here I am converting the rupees into paise. As you know that rupees 1 equal to 100 paise. Hence, rupees 5 gives 500 paise. Now, the ratio of rupees 5 to 50 paise equal to 500 is to 50. This can be treated as fraction by writing 500 upon 50. After cancelling, we get 10 upon 1. Here, don't forget to write 1 because we are writing the ratio. Hence, the ratio of rupees 5 to 50 paise equal to 10 is to 1. Our next question, find the ratio of 15 kg to 210 grams. Children, look at the units here. One is given in kilogram and other quantity is given in gram. So, we are not able to find the ratio. Why? Because both quantities are not in the same unit. Then what is the first step? Yes, first we have to convert both quantities into the same unit. Here we are converting kilogram into gram. As you know that 1 kilogram equal to 1000 gram, therefore 15 kg equal to 15,000 gram. Now we have to find the ratio of 15 kg to 210 gram equal to 15,000 is to 210. Remember that we can treat ratio just like the fraction. Hence, we can write it in the form of fraction. So, we can write 15,000 upon 210. After cancelling, we get 500 upon 7. Here asked to find the ratio. Here 507 is in the lowest form. So, we can write the final answer in the ratio form. Hence, we get 500 is to 7. That is 15 kg to 210 gram equal to 500 is to 7. Our next question, 9 meter to 27 centimeter. Here also the units are different. So our first step is convert it into same unit. As you know that 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. Hence 9 meter equal to 900 centimeter. Now ratio of 9 meter to 27 centimeter equal to 900 is to 27, which gives 900 upon 27. After cancelling, we get 100 upon 3. So the ratio is 100 is to 3. Our next question, 30 days to 36 hours, we have to find the ratio. Here also the units are different. So our first step is to make the unit same. As we know that one day equal to 24 hours, hence 30 days equal to 30 into 24 equal to 720 hours. Hence the ratio of 30 days to 36 hours equal to 720 is to 36, which gives 720 upon 36. After cancelling, we get 20 upon 1. Hence, the ratio of 30 days to 36 hours is 20 is to 1. Next, question number 2. In a computer lab, there are 3 computers for every 6 students. How many computers will be needed for 24 students? First, we can solve this by ratio and proportion method. So, here it is given 3 computers for 6 students. Next, how many computers? We don't know the number of computers required. Hence, we can give x, unknown variable as x. So, just below 3 computers, we have to write x computers for 24 students. Is it clear? Now we have to write it in the proportion method. 3 is to x. That is, first we can write the ratio of the computer, then write the proportion symbol, and on the right side of the proportion symbol we have to write the number of students. As 3 computers is for 6 students. So first you have to write a 6 is to 24. Now this is in the proportion form. So we studied the product of extreme terms equal to the product of middle term. Here x is in the middle term, hence we can write 6x equal to 3 into 24. Therefore, x equal to 3 into 24 upon 6. 6 and 24 can be cancelled. So, 6 can be cancelled in 24 in 4 times. So, we get x equal to 12. Hence, 12 computers are needed for 24 students. This is the one method by using proportion method we have to solve. The second method is unitary method. Here we are finding the value for 1, then we multiply to get the value of the required number. So here number of computers required for 6 students equal to 3. Therefore number of computers required for 1 student equal to, yes, 3 upon 6 equal to 1 by 2. Here we got the value of 1. So next is how many computers are required for 24 students. As we know the value of 1, to get to 24 students, we have to just multiply. Therefore, the number of computers required for 24 students equal to 24 multiplied by 1 by 2. After cancelling, we get 12. That means the number of computers required for 24 students is 12 computers. So children, which method you feel comfortable, you can follow that method. That is either by proportion method or by unitary method you have to solve. Next we can move to our third question. Question number 3 is population of Rajasthan equal to 570 lakhs and population of UP equal to 1660 lakhs. Area of Rajasthan equal to 3 lakh kilometers square and area of UP equal to 2 lakh kilometers square. How many people are there per kilometer square in both of these states? And the second part of the question is, which state is less populated? So here we have to find out how many people are there per kilometer square. That is, in 1 kilometer square, how many people live in Rajasthan and UP, we have to find out. So we can go with the unitary method. So we can solve the sum. Population of Rajasthan equal to 570 lakhs. Area of Rajasthan equal to 3 lakh kilometer square. That means in Rajasthan 3 lakh kilometer square area there are 570 lakhs people live. Is it clear? That is total of 3 lakh kilometer square area. How many people are living? 570 lakhs people. So you are able to find in 1 kilometer square area how many people are living? Yes. That is population in 3 lakh kilometer square area equal to 570 lakhs. Therefore, population in 1 kilometer square area equal to 570 lakhs upon 3 lakhs. After cancelling, we get 190. That is, the population of Rajasthan in 1 kilometer square area is 190 people. That means in 1 kilometer square area, there are 190 people live in Rajasthan. With the same method, we can find the people living in 1 kilometer square area in population of UP is given 1660 lakhs. Area of UP is 2 lakh kilometer square. That means in 2 lakh kilometer square area, there are 1660 lakh people living. That is population in 2 lakh kilometer square area equal to 1660 lakhs. Therefore, population in 1 kilometer square area equal to 1660 lakh upon 2 lakh. After cancelling, we get 830. That means in UP, in 1 kilometer square area, there are 830 people live. So the first part of question is over. We found in Rajasthan in 1 kilometer square area 190 people are living, whereas in UP in 1 kilometer square area 830 people are living. Our second part of the question, which state is less populated? That means we know that 190 is less than 830. That means Rajasthan is less populated. Thank you, children. Don't forget to write down the notes and the sums we solved in these videos and study well. Try to solve yourself. Any doubt is there, you check with the given answers. Thank you once again.